Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to GrowedUpGeek Gaming, your narrative host, or your narrative home for roleplay and narrative-focused Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition live play campaigns. I am your host and Dungeon Master Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like what we do here, give us a like, follow, subscribe, high five, fist bump, whatever it takes to show your affirmation. We really love the support. It is Tuesday night. We are back for our persistent long-term flagship campaign with the original gangsters of the channel. We're back with Eberron Tranquility's Betrayal, Season 2 of our Eberron campaign. Before we get to the recap, we will meet our amazing cast, then jump right into our second episode of the season. You will notice I don't have glasses because I broke them, so the reading part is going to be very hard. Please bear with me. Cool. Visual issues aside, let's meet our amazing cast. Let's start with Kai, our resident gnome. You are about to go on a little bit of leave before kind of heading out. Tell us a little bit about Kai and how he's kind of feeling moving into this next part of our campaign.
So, you know, so Kai has had a lot happen to him, especially in the past couple weeks with this group. He feels pretty confident about the group that he's in, though. Some of them are a bit weird, and he always watches it where the half-giant steps. He doesn't want to be on the wrong side of that. But, you know, he's pretty confident about how things are going. He thinks that this group can help him bring about a positive change through the realms. And yeah, so he's lots of questions yet to be answered, and he's curious about them, but he's confident moving forward.
All right. All right, very good. Let's slide upstairs from there to our what are you? Hexblade. You're a Hexblade Warlock, yes?
Hexblade
yes.
Warlock.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Lose track of things sometimes. Tenta, tell us a little bit about Masawa and what's going on with them as we head to the big city of Sharn.
Well, Masawa's just kind of trying to digest what is going on around him. He seems to have been somewhat disconnected at this point, kind of busy with his own thing while keeping an eye on the friends that are helping him through his own crisis. So he's kind of, at this point, trying to work it out where he needs to stand and the greater ramifications of that. And he's just going to take it easy today before he leaves the city and just kind of mull it around.
All right. Next, let's slide over to our Holy Crusader. Nick, you've had a little bit of issue with, or at least your church definitely has, over the last couple of weeks. They're a foreign church as well. So in addition to an affront against a religion, it's also an affront against a foreign nation. You are not from Breland. You were raised in Thrain under the Church of the Silver Flame. So how's that going with her? And tell us a little bit about Flametongue as we head into the big city.
Well, Flametongue is, like you said, not from here. So as an outsider, tries to keep her head down as much as she can, but being like almost 8 feet tall, that's a little difficult for her at times. She's super stoked to have accomplished the mission for the Church of the Silver Flame and return the Eternal Flame back to them with the help of adventuring party, basically doing all the heavy lifting and dragging me, or my corpse, almost corpse, back to the church to complete that mission. So yeah, that was great. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate that. Never been to Sharn, so super excited to finally go and see this, massive city of towers. And yeah, maybe seek out the church there, see if there's any goings about in this big city with the church.
All right. Last and not least, conscientiously saving our man about town in Sharn for last. Dustin, tell us a little bit about Rel and how his return to Sharn is going to jive with this mission that they've been given by the king.
Well, Rel has always, Rel is from Sharn, or has spent at least most of his life in Sharn. And before he was forced to leave Sharn to go on this adventure, so to speak, he was dealing with some very serious things. So now that he's going back to Sharn, it'll be hard to focus on whatever the king wants, because I'm sure if I'm there for a period of time, the things I was trying to deal with will start popping up again. To be fair, maybe these things are interconnected. But yes, there'll be some investigating, there'll be some reconnecting, and some mystery.
Oh, for sure. Awesome. All right. So that is our amazing cast. And once again, I'm Manny at GrowedUpGeek. Yeah, so let's get into it. Last week for our season premiere, the party fresh from defeating the perceived enemy and leadership of the Swords of Liberty, the Red Owl, as they were known, which turned out to be the Countess that they had been after for most of the season 1. She let loose some information that she actually worked for a prince, was all her words. After returning back through the Undercity, freeing some prisoners, Flametongue going down twice-ish? Twice.
Fully twice.
One of them was a crit in your defense, so it's not,
Yeah, fair.
it's not like you're a squishy paladin. The party made it back, eventually being summoned by Cass to meet with Lieutenant Torfin. Upon arriving back, being teleported to her office in her tower, the tower was empty. The party had nobody waiting for them. In the meantime, one of them may have done a little bit of snooping around with an open book on their commanding officer, Lieutenant Torfin's desk, finding some information on, what'd you look at, 3 pages? The page it was open to?
4 pages.
Okay. The page it was open to, the page before, and then 2 after?
Yep.
Okay. With a little bit of mystery, a mystery person mentioned. After that, the party found out that Torfin had in fact been summoned by the king, in which the party appeared before the king. Almost everybody in the castle who held the title of prince. They recounted most of their adventures, deciding to keep some of it close to the vest. The king, ever grateful for their service, would not let them leave without making sure that they were aware of his gratitude for everything that they had done. And before doing so, they were dispatched to Sharn, the city of towers, the biggest city in all of Khorvair, to investigate the new generation of Warforged that had appeared at the royal wedding, that kind of kicked this whole thing off, that may be wondering if House Cannith was in violation of the Treaty of Thronehold by creating new Warforged, which has been expressly forbidden. After giving their task, the party has been given a little bit of shore leave for the rest of the afternoon before promptly departing in the morning via lightning rail to Sharn. So with that, we will pick up just as you are kind of, I guess, dismissed is the right word, to go and be granted your free time. So we'll go one at a time, let everybody kind of decide what they're going to do before heading out for the morning. Let us start with Kai. Torfin, very kind of as appreciative of you as you've ever seen her. She's kind of straightforward and maybe even a little bit crazy. Has granted you essentially an afternoon off before needing to report back to your safe house. What's Kai going to do with his free time and basically the entire castle and city at his disposal?
So Kai, in the recent weeks, has been working on formulating some new spells, and so now he thinks he's about to have kind of a breakthrough on these, so he's going to buy some components and kind of officially put them into a spell book. He does have suspicions about the princes, regardless of what the king thinks, but he does not feel comfortable actively trying to look into it after we just stated some suspicions, and then he wouldn't want to press the issue right now. He'd rather kind of go into the shadows and then come back to it when they. So he's just going to relax and work on his spells and get some components for his spell book.
Okay. So you make your way out to kind of the quartermaster in the castle. You've been shown where it was before. They managed to get all your spell components. Everybody seems to go out of their way to make eye contact with you and really hustle to get your things. Apparently, it would seem tales of everything you have done out in Xandrar and everywhere between the time you left this castle. I think my math was like 14 days ago. In the amount of time since you left, that word has spread, and your group seems to have kind of a little bit of clout running around the castle. People trip over themselves to open the doors for you. Everybody's very accommodating, and they even make sure that with all your spell components, they send somebody to carry them for you back to the house, get you set up in your room, ask you, Master Kai, is there anything else we could do for you today?
No, I think that will be all. I certainly appreciate all of the effort that you and all the rest of your companions have put into ensuring that I have the necessary equipment for these coming days.
Of course, the king has told us of your deeds, as much as the king can tell us. So we just want to make sure that you're doing the good fight for our nation. It's important, and to see that you're out succeeding and have gained the king's favor. We feel that we, as people of this nation and of this army, should acknowledge you as well.
Of course, and I appreciate it. I will continue to work on behalf of the people.
I can see your dedication. I won't keep you too long. And he kind of stands up, snaps a salute, like very crisp one, like you'd really give somebody you respect. The full like heel to toe turn, and then marching out. Close the door behind me, sir.
Yes, please.
Of course. And then he closes the door. You're left. You have all your spell components. You are in your custom tailored room of the safe house that they've put you up in as a member of the Dark Lanterns. Is there anything else you'd like to do for until evening, I guess?
I think he's just going to basically like be practicing. I know we like hit 5th levels technically and just get the stuff. Figured I'd just make this like a study day to make it make wizard sense.
You got exams.
No, the sorcerer.
You got exams coming up. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Go ahead. That's it. You're just gonna hang out, and get your study on, and get your learn on.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Masawa, you watch Kai kind of walk off from the grounds of the castle off into the quartermaster. You get the kind of acknowledged nod from Torfin Just you know, she's weird, you're weird. The interpersonal thing is not a lot of conversations, a lot of kind of nonverbal things, and you can tell it's an affirmation. She's proud of you in her own bizarre, burn the castle down around herself kind of way. What would you like to do with your free time?
Before I leave Torfin, I will take my helmet off and kind of give her a stiff bow, revealing my skeletal face, and then stick it back on, take off.
No reaction or anything. Torfin's probably seen some shit in her day, and it's not. It might be unexpected, but it's not shocking, if that makes sense. Well, of course.
It felt good to be able to take my helmet off and not have someone freak out.
She gives you a bow, realizes that you are an instrument to, conduct the king's will, and at least for now, she's willing to take anybody that's willing to fight for her.
That seems fair. So what Masawa decided to do for his day off is he's going to basically have a self-day to collect his thoughts and head down to the dock and try and get some fishing in. He's kind of had flashbacks here and there of his previous life and enjoying fishing. Okay. So he's seeing if it's fact or if it's just somebody else's memories that he's looking at.
You make your way out to the river. It's kind of to the, where's that? To the northeast of, on that part of the city. It's a quiet little river that just runs outside the big high castle walls. And you find what looks like a reed, like a long reed, a little bit of string attached to it, kind of a crude hook on the end. It seems abandoned, just lying there on the bank of the river. It kind of peacefully goes by. It's really nice and it's quiet. It looks like somebody's fishing spot. It's not a very well-traveled area.
Nice. He'll pick up the reed and kind of sit cross-legged, and he doesn't breathe, but he's just kind of take his helmet off and set it at his feet and just sit there and let the wind go through his hair and his face, I guess, his empty head. Yeah, it's a nice little seashell effect.
Yeah, except like constant, I don't even have to hold anything up. So
always at the ocean.
Yeah. So as the wind blows through your skull, literally, you do get this sense of peace, and it does seem to be either something you did enjoy in your past life, or perhaps if you think about it a little harder, something that maybe this iteration of your life might enjoy in a way to differentiate this incarnation from anything in the past.
It is a different physical body at this point, with the same housing or the same being housed. So he is kind of getting used to who he actually is. And in the moment of peace, he'll reach down and start trying to dig for a worm to put on the hook.
Okay.
And as he reaches in and grabs a worm, all of a sudden his mind is basically assaulted, bombarded with thoughts of just a sea of endless worms and dying planets and burning red eyes. And Masawa will freak out and turn invisible and run off into the shadows, and may or may not be seen again.
Okay. Are you going to run into town or out into kind of the countryside?
Out into the countryside, where I think, subconsciously I'm running to where I think they might be at the end of our day in the morning. but I know I'm not coming back into the town.
Okay. All right.
So I basically try and run to somewhere that seems like a meeting point that I don't have to see anybody at until then.
Okay. Flametongue.
And I'll stay invisible.
All right. Even when you get to wherever you're going, you're just gonna. Okay.
Even when I get there, yeah.
Okay. Flametongue, you're dealing with kind of not a spiritual crisis, but at least an assault on your faith, simply for being a foreign religion. Torfin, after seeing Masawa off and Kai off, comes up and in her own bizarre, kind of semi-antisocial way. I'm sorry, Flametongue. We in the capital we don't have a temple available for you. I'm sorry to say the king and the family royal worship the sovereign host here. But I could provide a chapel, just if you would like to have private prayer. It won't be an actual temple to the silver flame, but it will be private and unadorned with other religious idolatry, if you'd like that. If not, by all means, enjoy your time. We depart the lightning rail station very early in the morning.
Yeah, I don't think that I will go and pray right now. Can offer my prayers anytime to the church. Thanks for the space. Appreciate that. It's very nice being accommodating, seeing that this is not the religion of this country. But I think I'd like to seek out a healer in the castle and get some healing potions or some scrolls so that next time I die, I have a potion on my body to at least be poured down my throat.
Oh, yes, of course. And you can see her kind of think for a second. The quartermaster might not be your best bet. We've had trouble with potions being made here in the castle. Last I heard, Corian was actually in the lab. You might be able to go see him if you'd like, and she kind of points it out, gives you like rough directions around the castle. But that might be your best bet. And if Corian isn't there, whoever is, just tell them I sent you, and they'll provide for you.
Excellent.
You're gonna head off in that direction?
Yeah. Wherever she tells me to go, I will go there.
You kind of make your way around kind of the keep of the castle. It's a segregated part. It's walled off within a walled city. A lot of guards, a lot of official kind of, national business going on. There's not a lot of, nobody's taking pictures or hanging out and going, ooh, the castle. It's, must be there kind of thing. You make your way around, and even in this secure complex that houses the king and the royal family, you find this door that is very, very secure in the old part of the castle. So you're going to have kind of a rough time. It's going to be pretty short. And it looks pretty locked, and above it you see the symbol of what looks like a flask that Torfin told you to look out for.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and just get down on my knees and just kind of scoot through, because I'm probably almost 6 foot tall if I'm on my knees still. So
okay,
I'll just kind of crawl around, knock on the door first.
You're gonna hear kind of shuffling, and you're gonna hear a child's voice. Somebody's at the door, and then kind of some shuffling, some kind of clanking around bottles and such. And the door's going to open, and behind it is going to be Corian, the king's advisor, tutor to the royal family. And over his shoulder, you're going to see the youngest prince, Prince Cord, just kind of sitting on a table, looking like he's reading. All these kind of things bubbling and churning behind him. Oh, yes. Hello, Dark Lantern. Is there something I can help you with?
Looking for any type of healing potions or scrolls to take with me on my next leg of the adventure.
Yes, we are just about to finish with a batch. Come in. I'm sorry the alchemy lab is in such an old building. You know, we're not accustomed to heroes of your size, and I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. I'm used to it. Most cities are not built for Goliaths.
It's a shame, as cosmopolitan as we become, that we can't adapt to, some of our lesser known or less catered to members of our nation. And you can see him kind of come in. So yeah, while I get this stuff together, I haven't really spoken to any of you in a while. How are things? Your report in front of His Majesty seemed very good. His Majesty is quite proud and happy at your accomplishments. And he just kind of goes about it. Is there anything else that maybe I could provide that maybe Torfin can't or won't?
Flametongue is not the brightest of flames, so also doesn't really understand like sarcasm or innuendo at all.
Okay.
So from her perspective, Torfin's been pretty solid for the most part. Torfin's fine and everything's going well. So unless you can have something like that, do you need anything from us as we go on our next leg of the adventure?
I serve His Majesty, and if His Majesty needs you to look into House Cannith and their Warforged, then I trust him in his infinite kingly wisdom. I only ask, just curious. Torfin keeps some strange company, we'll say, and those people don't have the best reputation around here. And I don't want the nation or His Majesty to be fooled again by these changelings.
The changelings. Oh man, what's the changeling that we were just hanging out with? What's his name?
Cass.
Cass. Cass is a pretty good guy. He saved us and helped us out many times.
Sure. It's just, I don't want to paint a group specifically known for subterfuge. I don't want to paint a patriot such as Cass with the same brush. However, I think you'll agree their abilities are cause for concern.
Well, it's a natural ability. We all have different abilities. Some better than others. For instance, like I can pick up very great heavy objects, but it would be helpful to be able to change my face at any given time.
Sure. I'm gonna say I don't mean anything by him, just kind of worrisome. I was around those years ago, and it was scary for His Majesty to never know who to trust. But we moved past it, and I just I'm very protective of His Majesty, and I know Torfin's quite good at what she does. Obviously, she has you, but as advisor to the king, I have to look out for the things that Torfin and the king don't. So, to keep the monarchy safe, and just wanted some insight from somebody else, and you can see him kind of pouring off potions into these bottles.
Well, I'm gonna, probably see Torfin when I go back to the safe house. Do you want me to ask her that you were asking about the changelings that she hangs out with?
No. I don't want to interfere in Dark Lantern business. I'm simply an advisor to the king, and tutor to this impressive prince here. And like you can see Prince Cord kind of giggle. You're smarter than all your brothers, Cord. It should be you who is king one day and not. Anyway. But yes, here you go. Once again, thank you for your service on behalf of His Majesty once again. Take these and go forth. And if you ever think that Torfin isn't as helpful as she can be, remember, one of us is one step away from the king.
Thank you for your help. I'll make sure to keep an eye out for any strange changeling activity. Yeah, but Cass, he seems pretty cool to me. So, but yeah, thank you again. And she'll kind of like crawl, shuffle backwards out of the hallway, trying not to break the bottles of potions, and then head back to the safe house.
And as you kind of shimmy your way out and kind of awkwardly try to turn like a big car, like trying to do a 3-point turn in an alley, the prince is very intrigued and like trying not to laugh. It is kind of a spectacle to see this large person trying to like shuffle around in this tiny little lab. And as you finally make your way out, you can hear Corian, thank you. Use those in good health. And you can see him kind of motion to the prince. And what do we say, Your Highness? And the little kid pipes up, thank you for your service.
I'll give him a little head nod, symbol, sign, bow, and then be on my way.
Okay. I'm going to head back to the safe house. As you get in, Kai, are you making any noise? Is anybody going to even know you're home? Door open? Anything?
The door would definitely be closed. They might hear some noises, because I imagine while I'm like kind of practicing these spells, I'm probably making some noise as I'm experimenting, I'll say.
Okay. So, Flametongue, you're going to arrive back at the safe house. It's not going to seem like a hive of activity, and the only thing you're going to hear is the occasional like magical sound coming from Kai's room with the door closed. What are you going to do when you get back to your room?
Well, I definitely not going to go check on any kind of magical sounds that
Is everything
just
all
leave
right
the door
here?
closed. Yeah. I just kind of get my kit together for the road, and after that, I guess I just kind of stand guard and just wait for the rest of the party to get there.
Okay.
After what happened the last time you opened the door, you probably should just stay away from all doors.
Yeah, I mean, I will never open a door again in my life without someone telling me to come in.
Knock very politely.
A lot of knocking going on in the future, y'all. All right. Rel, you've just finished your meeting with the king. Torfin has sent Kai, Masawa, and Flametongue off to their leave beforehand. As she does, she kind of walks up to you. Rel, As always, we appreciate everything you do when we do work together in situations like this. As always, His Majesty is quite pleased and grateful for your help at this time. But I'm going to be honest. His Majesty is concerned about your return to Sharn and is concerned that your interests that brought you into His Majesty's service once again might take precedence over your mission that the king has sent you on.
Well, if I haven't proven myself already as somebody who's effective at getting the job done, I don't know what else I can do to change that.
Fair. His Majesty does know your dedication and your desire to get to a resolution as quickly as possible. Some things have changed in the city since you came into our service. Things you'll notice, other things you won't. And as you no doubt know by now, His Majesty and I have ways of keeping an eye on all of you. It's for your safety and also as a way of His Majesty making sure His will is being done. Don't try to shake us in the city. We are here to help you, and we would like to be able to assist you and the rest whenever we see fit. In the meantime, once again, His Majesty thanks you for your service and appreciation for you coming to help us, even though you don't have to. But just remember why you're in Sharn when you get there, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, she's going to kind of shuffle off a little arrogantly. As she shuffles off, the rest of your party is kind of dipped out to go about the castle grounds and in town. What would you like to do in your off time?
I mean, I guess I would make it a priority to go and find some bullets while I'm here.
Okay.
Since I know I could find some here. I know I find some in Sharn, but I'd have to go and track them down and everything. So I might as well get them while I'm here.
As you go to the quartermaster, you can kind of see Kai kind of come and go. And he leaves with like somebody with an armful of stuff, apparently quite productive in his requisition of certain things that he needs. When you get up to the counter, a bunch of the kind of people that work in the quartermaster's office are all kind of stumbling around. Can we see it?
My gun?
Yeah. We've heard from other people and other companies that that you have one. We've all heard of them, and we were very excited to work on what you needed. Torfin was insistent upon you having whatever these things are called, but we would really like to see it.
Sure, you can take a look at it.
Okay.
But I do need it. We are going on a mission very soon, so I can't leave it with you.
Oh, no. We just absolutely just want to see it. And you gonna hand it to him, or are you just gonna kind of go, hey, look with your eyes, not with your hands?
Yeah. I'll let them look at it. I'll put it on the counter or whatever.
Okay. They all kind of like crowd around, and you can see him like trying to figure out how it works. You built it, yes?
Yeah, with with assistance.
Okay.
But it is mostly my own creation.
And as they kind of stumble upon it, looking at it, trying to kind of piece it together, everybody's very respectful with it. Nobody like picks it up, brandishes it around. If they turn it, it's very like carefully. They appreciate the concept of a weapon and it being somebody else's and show it the due respect. And as they kind of look over it, you can hear them talking to each other. And as they seem to kind of at least pretend to know how it works, you hear a lot of like poor concepts and just bad science. And it is clear that despite them knowing what it is, none of them has a single idea of how it works. And
yeah, it's fine. I'll just like sort of take the gun back and I'll just say, oh, well, I got some things to do. I'm here to, I suppose I need, I won't need that in my, I need some bullets. I think I had somebody making some for me while I was gone.
Yes, of course. And they pull up like a nice, like pretty nice sized box. It's velvet lined. They're lined in there like individually. And they open it up. Would these suffice?
I'm gonna assume that they're the right size and everything, and so that it'll all work. How many are in the box?
50.
50. Okay. Yep. That works for me,
right.
And I'll pick it up and put it into my backpack.
Okay. And he kind of like leans in, like towards you. Hey, just so you know, the boys in the back are working on some new kinds. We're not ready with them yet, but we're really excited about what they can do.
Like bullets?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, if you figure anything out, I'd definitely be interested to hear. Don't go blowing your fingers off or anything.
Oh, not in the last couple of days. No, I think we solved that problem.
Okay, well, that's good. Be careful.
Oh, of course.
They have a days without a work-related accident sign in there.
It's at 3.
I imagine amongst them, every other person is missing a finger or something.
Yeah, black eye, like a chunk of something. Bloodshot eye, maybe missing an eye.
Yeah, this is out of. It's okay. I mean, so. I remember who helped me create this, and since they live in Sharn, there's a good chance I'll be running into them again sometime soon. So if I have some other time before we head on our way, I would spend the last of that time tinkering with my gun.
Okay, getting it all tuned up, nicely done. Back at the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to make sure. I've been trying to find a way to improve it in some way, but yeah. I'm also thinking about making a different gun, but I'd need more time to do that. So that's all I'll do for now. That's all I really need.
Okay.
I don't. Yep. Where are we again? We're in Road?
Road.
Or are we? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So.
I assume we're taking the train down.
Yes.
Okay. Makes the most sense.
Yes. So you leave the quartermaster's office with a little bit of tools and oil, the things kind of needed to maintain your pistol, as well as your ornate case of 50 bullets that the boys, fingerless, eyeless, toothless, all are quite content to have made. You return to the house, Flametongue standing ever vigilant out front. Upstairs in the second floor, you hear the familiar sounds of a gnomish voice doing incantations and casting spells. Occasionally, like a bright flash of light bursts out from under the door. It smells like burnt hair. Every once in a while, you'll put like an ear to the door to make sure Kai's still okay and he sounds fine. Just really into what he's doing. Your servant that has been assigned to the house, Butler, the Warforged, ever diligently brings everybody some food. Kai, he'll leave yours outside, knock on the door. Master Kai, your food is up. And for Flametongue and Rel, brings food, make sure the house is ready. Seems to be preparing like your bags and stuff, leaving them all by the foyer. Very organized. As you know, the late afternoon turns to night. And before you head off to bed, is there anything anybody else would like to do? Kai, let's start with you. Spells, sleep.
Yeah, I figure about the end of the evening, Kai has pretty much finished his experimentation. So I figure at this point, the knock on the door, the food, he eats while studying, and he's like snacking while studying, writing, scribbling, going through parchment after parchment after parchment until finally he feels pretty confident about what he's got.
Okay. Your room is like ridiculously hot from all of the magic and everything going on. Your little like hive of activity around. Your room is immensely hot. And then, after that, bedtime, once you're just worn out, you had a day.
Yeah, Kai will open a window.
Okay.
To help let a breeze in.
All right. As you open the window, before you head to bed, it is a chilly evening. It's still early. It's early spring in Khorvair, so it's very like a chilly evening. Outside, you hear just this constant like foot traffic that sounds like the same three voices just coming back and forth from one of the other guest houses on the castle grounds and heading towards the keep where you had your meeting with His Majesty, Torfin, and everybody else.
Am I able to hear like kind of what they're saying?
You can't really hear what they're saying. It's a relatively quiet conversation between like 3 or 4 people. But the 3 or 4 people are quite distinct in how they stand out.
What I'm gonna do, let me take 1 second at this. Never mind. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and use a. Actually, it says I have to be the one to speak. Well, it doesn't necessarily say I have to say it, but it says then speak the message. So I was going to store the audio in an object, right? But I think I have to be the one to speak it. So
okay. Oh, I got what you're saying. So yeah, they're gonna kind of come and go. They're all dressed alike, and you can tell they're very much not from Breland or Zilargo, since those will be your 2 big frames of references.
You said they're definitely not.
They're not from Zilargo, and they're not from Breland.
Okay. I'll put that in my notes.
All right.
But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Flametongue, you've seen Rel come back pretty content from his trip to the quartermaster. Butler has provided you food. Are you still standing outside for a little while?
Yeah, I would stay out until the sun starts to go down, and if Masawa hadn't come back by that time, probably like go head towards the docks to look.
Okay.
For them.
All right. Hard mode playing. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. It starts to get dark, and as you become concerned for your party member, and you've eaten, you've done all that, you notice a group of 4 ambassadors from Thrain representing the Church of the Silver Flame pass by. Is Flametongue wearing any kind of insignia or anything that would signify you as a member of the church?
It's on her sword, which is large. So, I mean, it'd be about like a medallion size on her sword up above her shoulder.
Okay. I mean, you stand out like a sore thumb. You're big. You're in front of this house in the castle. And as they both answer their own curiosity, they take a moment and realize you two are a follower of the faith. And they give you a very reverent bow as they head off into, like I said, the main keep where you just got done meeting with the king, Torfin, and the litany of princes about. You're gonna head off to look for Masawa?
No, I won't. I won't venture out of the house. He's can take care of himself in a city, I guess. So I'll stay at the house and eat dinner. Give them a bow before they go. Eat dinner and then probably just turn in. I'll sleep in the main area of the house where the front door leads into, in case he does come home.
Every once in a while, you will hear the same kind of Thrainish delegation passing back and forth in front of the house until you fall asleep. All right. Rel, you're upstairs working on your gun, fine-tuning it, doing all that stuff. Anything else you would like to do before heading to sleep?
Nope.
Okay. All right. You all sleep peacefully throughout the night. In the morning, you are awakened by the booming voice of Lieutenant Torfin, amplified by a magic spell. All Dark Lanterns, please report to the Lightning Rail Station in 30 minutes, as ordered by His Majesty.
Okay.
Did we take a long rest?
Yes.
I was about to ask the same thing.
Well rested.
Get all my boops back. And yep.
I have so much HP, 32.
Yeah, wow.
That's a lot of HPs.
Yeah. It's I can survive a fireball that may go already.
I rolled 21 for my first fireball. It's so fucking mad. I waited 2 hours and 15 minutes for this. You know what? Man, I'm not doing anything else. Casted Prestidigitation. I'm pissed. So the morning comes at the kind of behest of the booming disembodied voice of Lieutenant Torfin. You can hear wherever you are in the house, Butler kind of moving about, making sure everything's ready to go, kind of clamoring around in the kitchen, seemingly doing their best to provide a nice little meal at the base of the stairs for when everybody comes downstairs. Anybody have anything they would like to do in the morning?
No, I don't think so. Just I got all ready last night, so
Okay.
just head light
The couch is grateful for you to be getting up off of it. You can hear it like oh, and like give like a heavy deep sigh. It seems to say. Kai, anything in the morning?
I will just look at the chair and think about the indention. Like he could probably stand in the indention of the chair and probably go up to like his knees or his waist.
It's big. It's like great.
He's gonna feel bad for the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had mending. I wish I could help you. All right. Rel, anything in the morning through the booming voice of Torfin giving you your rude wake-up call?
Nope, I'm ready to go. I
Okay.
want to get going.
Okay. Outside, you hear the marching of feet like soldiers.
Feet.
Not sure if that's going to translate. Knocking at the door. Attention, King's Dark Lanterns. We have been asked to escort you to the train station before your departure. The train departs in about 20 minutes. We would hope that you are ready to go.
Let's go.
Go.
Okay. You fall out of the house. You notice one of you is still missing. Torfin and this armed escort seemed pretty insistent upon you moving as quickly as possible. You make your way through the castle grounds, and one final time, Kai and Flametongue, you are going to see the same group of ambassadors, emissaries, that you saw the night before leaving the castle. They look like they haven't slept, and they seem pretty aggravated. Instead of a reverent bow to Flametongue, it's only kind of a curt nod. And they go back to talking amongst themselves in a very kind of agitated way as they pass you in on the castle grounds on your way to the lightning rail. You make your way in. This is the same lightning rail station you've traveled to and from all of your excursions in and out of Rote. It is empty. Once again, this is the Royal platform. A single Orion locomotive and passenger car pull up. Lieutenant Torfin and Corian stand on the train platform by the open door to the passenger car. Cass kind of sits there by themselves, kind of digging at underneath their fingernails with a dagger, just kind of off in their own little world. Torfin stands there, and Corian seems to be kind of lost in thought as you make your way up there. You can see Torfin and talk for a second. Torfin, where's the fourth one of you?
I appear behind her.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Well, His Majesty has made it quite clear his intentions. We hope to send you to Sharn, investigate House Cannith. She's going to look at Rel. And no matter what you find, please remember that the security of the people of this nation should trump the needs of any distant bloodlines. If there's nothing else, she's going to look at Corian. You came here for a reason, so it's going to give her kind of a look. His Majesty sends you to the largest city in the nation. We only can barely scratch the surface with what is going on there. Always remember, you act on the king's behalf, whether you advertise that fact or nothing. And if you ever need anything, show to them who you are and what you do. And His Majesty's will be done. And out from behind him, the Prince Cord, who's been kind of hiding behind his flowing robes. You're all so brave. Thank you for saving me and my sister. Thank you for your service. and he kind of like shyly hides behind Corian's robes once again. The train will take you straight to Terminus. Cass has their assignment. You have yours. Your travel pass through the wards of the city should be available at the customs office upon your arrival. And after that, His Majesty trusts you to carry out his will. Thank you for your service and bring light to the darkness.
Ooh.
Train door opens. Cass kind of hops right in and jumps up, stretches across like a really comfortable bench, feet up on the table. Torfin, it's been a while since you let me ride in one of these. Usually I gotta walk, because I'm your little secret. You see him kind of get ready, opening up a little compartment, pouring themselves a drink. Come on in, you guys. It's gonna be great. 7 hours of free booze and the Brailish countryside.
Who's this?
Cass.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk up to Cass and summon my Hex Blade and put it in his face. Are you really Cass?
Yeah. And he turns into a very familiar gnome to Kai. If I'm not
Can
Cass.
shapeshifters change their size significantly?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
I mean,
As long as I think it's within one category.
yeah,
I think you can
and
do it.
you know, because
Up
of the
or
way
down.
the way the rules work, technically Kai is medium, so it's rough and it's kind of like dicey, but for this purpose, yes. This
Okay.
average
I'm just curious.
can just turn into what Kai's gonna recognize as one of his siblings. See? See?
It was one of 11 siblings.
Okay. And he's gonna look at Kai. Yeah? You believe me?
Kai will smile and nod his head.
Okay. And then
All right.
with
the Hex
that-
Blade will disappear.
Cass is gonna turn back into their base changeling form, like the white skin, the eyes, the hair, the whole nine, and just go right back to their drink. You guys are getting paranoid, man.
I'll sit down satisfied,
Okay.
grab a drink,
All right.
and never drink it.
Cass is gonna pour. It's good stuff. I'm not sure if you can enjoy it, but I hope you can. He's gonna kind of sit there
cannot.
and spill a drink and just keep drinking. It's like, what about you, my lady? Would you like a drink? She holds up a bottle to Flametongue. Is that within the rules? I'm sorry. I don't know your faith.
It doesn't break any rules, so, and I'll just take the bottle and
Oh.
chug it.
Don't worry. His Majesty's paying, and you can see him go over to like another panel in the door and pull out like a whole other bottle. What about you, Rel? You want a drink? Is that going to make this trip any easier? Is that the last thing you need?
Wait, how long? It's only some hours, right?
7.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have some
Okay, cool.
if I can find something I like.
Cool. This is the royal traveling car, so whatever we can have, and you can see you just open up a bunch of panels, and there's like just a ton of different liquors. Does any of these seem like something you could be interested in?
I'll find some sort of like scotch or whiskey, and I'll pour some over some ice or something.
Ooh, good choice. Yeah, I think that's what the king drinks too. So good choice.
And it'll make that chingling sound, when the ice gets all like in the cup. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, looks like Torfin's Island of Misfit Toys goes to the big city. So everybody raise your glasses to Sharn, the city of towers. May its trappings not kill us. May its mysteries not baffle us. And may the towers not make us fall to our deaths. Holds up a drink, waiting for everybody. No.
Jerseys.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll
Hope I don't
cheers.
shard myself.
I'll
Jingling.
I'll pour it into my mouth, and you can hear it like ping off my hollow armor, and then pour onto the floor.
Ah, it looks like you got a hole in your lip. Be careful there. And you can see Cass is starting to be a little loose, a little slurry. Just keeps pouring.
I'll just keep pouring it into my mouth and onto the floor.
You enjoy it for what you've done for the king. You could spill booze all over this thing.
Just
I wish I could
full of
taste
wine.
it.
Ah, you're not missing much. It's probably taken years off your life, and you can see Cass kind of feels dumb, not really sure, like, if that was the right thing to say. No, I'm sorry, just pours himself another drink.
If I could smile and had lips, I would, but
Cool. Good to
he just gets a blank face back.
cool. Good to know. Kind of hard to read, so appreciate if you got to narrate it for me. Like they said, your travel passes throughout the city should be ready when we get there. They'll let you leave Tavrick's Landing, and yeah, I have things to do. You guys go do your things. I'm sure we'll cross paths at some point. Yeah, and you get to see him. Train's going to depart the station. The castle is going to be off in the distance. The big, wide open, Braelish countryside before you on both sides of the train, just zooming by.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Look around. Hey, I'm going to need to take like a little bit of a nap. So if you all don't need me, I'm just going to take a little bit of a nap if that's okay.
Is this cart like got separate booths? Like, is he gonna go into a separate little
No, it's
compartment to
one.
nap?
It's like one car with like think of it like a motorhome, just much nicer and bigger.
Okay.
But it's all one big car. Just gonna sleep like you would sleep on like a plane or on a bus or something.
Sure. Yeah. Do we have access to other carts?
Just the one. This is the only one aside from the locomotive, which is always sealed.
Oh, I see. If he falls asleep, I will gather the group at the farthest other side of wherever they're sleeping.
Okay.
And then try to have a whispered conversation.
You can see Cass kind of trying to fight it, like the head bob. Eventually puts the glass down, their grip on it kind of loosens, their hand falls limp, and eventually you just kind of see them slump down and not try to like rally past it.
Cool. Yeah, I will just sort of like signal to the group that I want to speak to them over in the corner.
I'll nod and walk over there.
And assuming, like, I'll wait a couple of minutes, let them go into sleep. But I will gather the group, and then if everyone comes over, I will just, in a whispering voice, explain what Torfin had told me, and that she had implied that we were being watched, basically. I also would say, like, just so you guys are aware, while it's probably true and not that surprising, I suppose, that people are being watched and followed and stuff in, this sort of environment, country, government, whatever, just be aware that with Torfin going out of their way to tell me this, that probably implies that they can't actually watch us at all times. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel the need to threaten. Because otherwise, they would just keep tabs on us at all times, anyways, without there would be no need to tell us it. So it sort of implies, I mean, Sharn's a huge city. It's got a huge black market and undercity and criminals and all that. So hiding in that city is actually pretty easy, which is probably why she brought it up. But I don't know if any of us have any particular objects on us that were given to us that could be something that they're tracking or anything, but I just putting it out there so that you all know. I still don't, I mean, we gave up our Dark Lantern emblems. I don't remember getting a new one. So
No.
that would be the most obvious thing, which I'm pretty sure was something that they and probably was one of the reasons why they mentioned it. Now it just means that we have to, like, be careful if we, go out of our way or do anything in particular that might not necessarily be on brand.
I
Because
dig.
yeah, because in the
I got
end,
you.
yeah, in the outer open they'll probably be aware. But I just so everyone knows,
Yeah.
I'll also say that in the city, and I'll lower my voice even more. There, I'm from Sharn, and I know people in the city. And the last time I was there, I was investigating a crime, and I never solved that crime, and so there's a small chance that we might get pulled into whatever that was. But that was a while ago, so maybe it's past. Unknown.
Very well. Let it come. I don't have a beard. I have a skeletal face, but I'm concerned and stroking my chin.
I'm rubbing my very, very defined jawline.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have a fantastic beard, so I'm rubbing my sort of.
Are you flexing on Masawa?
Well, I mean,
Be like,
as
look
long
what
as
I
we
have.
don't,
Facial hair,
My sort of
boy.
strawberry blonde beard.
As long as we don't do anything wrong, then what's it matter if they're watching us?
Wrong is a subjective concept.
Bingo.
Yeah. If you don't have
That's
any
why the
reason...
invasion of your privacy isn't actually as free as you think it is.
That's right.
Because you never know when they will change their minds and decide what you're doing is bad.
Even your own doctrine has fluctuated.
Yes. The phrase "you must comply" is a dangerous one. So, as Rel tells you the story, like I said, Cass just seems to be like out of it, like pretty drunk, and just passed out. They haven't really moved. They're snoring, and as they sleep, not the full transformation, but you can see the kind of like in between steps of Cass's like natural visage and like any of the personas that they've inhabited. As they sleep, they just kind of change and then eventually go back to kind of Cass, and then a couple minutes later into another one, and then back to Cass. And the same way that like octopus change colors when they sleep because they're dreaming, just a different variation of that. Your train ride continues. It's about 7 hours. It's about an hour and a half in. You're pretty much out into, flyover country, the equivalent of southern Breland, as you make your way on the lightning rail, like haul an ass. This is the royal car, so it is probably built for speed. Is there anything anybody else would like to do in the time between Cass passes out and Rel's story? Like I said, it's going to be about 6 hours of travel time.
Let's see. Actually,
Kai, anything? Studying?
Yeah, probably just reading and studying, thinking to himself.
Okay. Masawa, you were pouring booze all over the booth, sitting across from Cass.
Yeah.
Anything else you would like to do after Rel tells his story?
Well, I don't really think I have anything in particular. I think I'll just find a place to post up and just sit there cross-legged and kind of meditate, and little like motes of light are kind of just like floating around my head while I'm sitting there, with the yellow that normally glows out of my eyes is super dim. I'm just sitting there zenned out.
All right, neat. Flametongue, you've got a passed out changeling. Once again, unfortunately, the train car is going to be a little restricting to your size. Is there anything else you would like to do for the remainder of your trip?
Just sharpen my sword.
All right. It seems as if you expect bad things to happen when you get to the city. Interesting. Rel, as you get closer and closer to Sharn with all of your unfinished business as well as the king's task ahead of you, what are you doing and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Staying focused, maybe mentally going over some old clues and notes from my last time in Sharn. But otherwise, yeah, just getting prepared.
Okay. Your voyage continues. You have gone from the open plains through the woods, the King's Forest, as the tracks you lose a little bit of perspective of the countryside as you're just basically just cutting through on lightning rail track through the woods. And just as you exit the woods and cross over the large Orion trade road, seemingly out of nowhere on the horizon, this spectacular towered city appears. It is the largest city in all of Khorvair. It is certainly the largest city in Breland, and despite it being a Braelish city, probably the most international and cosmopolitan place in all of Khorvair. You see the lightning rail track continue straight into one of the northern districts of the eastern part of the city. The trade road coming into a gate very nearby. Airships in the air as they make their way in and out of the city. And as you get closer to the terminus station, as you actually pull into the kind of city proper, you can see this expansive group of people waiting outside the city gates, waiting to be processed into the city. You get to skip that traveling via lightning rail. So you'll just fly into the city, kind of make your way through the towers as the lightning rail track curves, and you will find yourself in Lower Tavrick's Landing, the kind of entrance district into Sharn. Your spot is going to be, we'll do this in more detail in a second. This dotted line is going to be the lightning rail as it drops you at Terminus Station in the Terminus district. And as you pull into this lightning rail station, you go from the private one for the royal family of Breland to the central lightning rail platform, the only one in Sharn. Multiple tracks, trains coming and going, just this huge cosmopolitan mess as the train comes to a rest. The overwhelming hustle and bustle of the terminus station in Tavrick's Landing of Sharn just overwhelming you from the near silent ride, save for Cass's snoring. And as the door opens and the sounds of hustle and bustle just blow into the train car, we're going to take actually our mid-show break right now. And then when we come back, we will get into this city. So it is currently 8:40 p.m. We are going to take about a 10-minute break to hard mode playing. As once again, thank you for the follow to everybody watching. We really appreciate it. Season 2 has been great. It's only going to get better. And as always, to our amazing players, thank you. We're about to get into it. So yeah, we're going to be back in about 10 minutes, properly in the city of Sharn. To everybody watching, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. We'll be right back. All right, we are back from our break. Our party has just made it to the City of Towers, Sharn, the greatest place on Earth, depending on your perspective, in all of Khorvair. The lightning rail has come to a stop on a much busier train platform than you would have seen at Rote. This is public. This is the only lightning rail station into the largest city. They are coming from all over the place, leaving and departing in just a great kind of synchronization that just allows all of them to just kind of come and go. And as the doors open, you have seen a train come, wait a couple of moments, and then leave as another one arrives almost just as quickly. The traffic on the platform is incredible. And as the doors open, you can kind of see Cass like, fuck, we're here? All right. Look, just give me a second. If you could just wait for me on the platform. I have to go get your city passes and just do your inspection with the guardians of the gate. You'll see them. I'll go get your city things, and yeah, just give me a second.
Is it common for people to have city passes here?
Yours is going to be specifically because of your job, or at least your cover of a job. You're going to be presented as Brailish military. It's a way of kind of a get out of jail free card if you're in a neighborhood maybe they don't think you should be in.
That's a keeper.
Okay.
That's a keeper.
Is it just like a piece of paper or a card or something?
Yeah, it's going to be like a card.
Okay. Random side question.
Mm-hmm.
How, on average, how are the Brailish military perceived here?
It's a big city, a cosmopolitan city, so that's going to depend on where you are in the city. As far as the city guard goes, they would defer to you by policy, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Good to know.
So the door swings open and you hear this robotic voice. Greetings and welcome to Sharn, the City of Towers. All changelings must register at the customs office. Anyone espousing rebellion against the crown will be arrested and charged with treason. Please submit to inspection from the guardian of the gate. After a moment, it plays over exactly again as if a recording. Greetings and welcome to Sharn, the City of Towers.
That's enough out of you.
And it just sits there like an automated thing. It is a Warforged. It is dressed in kind of this... Rel, you would recognize it as like an overly enthusiastic display of the flag of the city of Sharn, kind of the color scheme of the city, just this very touristy affront to be as Sharny as possible as it greets people and gives them a very quick overview of essential city policies, as it were.
Helpful.
No. Let's continue.
Okay.
I've never been here before. It's helpful to me.
Nope.
Don't worry about it. I've been here a bunch. Just keep moving.
Nope.
Are you all going to follow Rel's lead out onto the platform?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's keep it moving.
Okay.
I've never been here. I'm just looking.
Do we have our passes yet?
No, Cass has got to get him.
Oh
Okay.
no, gotta rely on drunk Cass to go get the passes.
He's awake at least.
Someone should
Do,
go get him.
is there like a waiting room or like a guest hall or whatever? Like a
As you step out onto the platform, as the platform meets and kind of heads out into the concourse, you see guards. Rel, you would recognize them as the Guardians of the Gate. They're essentially like kind of the TSA and customs of Sharn. Their jurisdiction is like passengers at the train station, at the airship platform, or like through the gate. That's their particular realm, as opposed to the city guard, which is, you know, more akin to like a police. These are kind of specialized. And so, Rel, you've been to Sharn. You know these things are kind of standard practice. The level of enthusiasm varies depending on world events or events in the city. For all the time you've been to Sharn, this seems to be one of the more strict kind of crackdown times, where the at times lax Guardians of the Gate seem to be a little more fascisty this time around. A little rough with people as they search, a little disrespectful going through their luggage. So a little line has formed on your platform. And then on the platform proper, you can see a long line of changelings with a sign above that says Customs Office. And then next to it, you see a line that says City Office, and the line is much shorter. Step forward, submit yourself to inspection.
we're here with the Brellish military.
Yeah. You have a city pass?
No, the
I-
guy's bringing it to us right now.
What guy? I haven't seen anybody else. Just you four.
He works with the Brellish military. Did we see which direction he walked off to?
He hasn't gotten out of the car yet. He's still in
Oh.
the train car. So he's gonna pop out, and you're gonna see this. It's an elf. It's got the ears. It's got the build. But the face is not going to be as like defined. It's going to be like that joke if somebody tried to draw an elf from memory. All the features aren't going to quite match. The cheeks are kind of lopsided, and just has this weird gait as they come out of the train car. Sorry. He's going to pull out like a kind of badge and just walk right on by the city guard or the Guardians of the Gate. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get their city pass. Don't worry about it. Jesus, fuck. And you can see him kind of stumble his way through, and it takes a minute, but eventually the face coalesces into like a solid, reasonable simile of an elf, as opposed to this kind of half-constructed clay face mess. He walks on over and goes to the shorter line. You know, if you just submitted to the inspection, you could go wait with him if you wanted.
I mean, he's gonna bring our pass in like a second.
Okay. All right. Then wait here.
Is there like a chair or a couch we can
There's
sit
like
on?
a bench, you know, just like an airport or train platform right before it departs.
All right, let's go to the
right.
bench.
Okay.
I'll sit on the bench too.
So
I'll be very pedestrian.
the Royal train car has since sped off out of the station. Trains have come and gone on both sides of the platform, which you stand. People have kind of come and gone through the Guardians of the Gate. And every time somebody goes through, the Guardian just kind of looks at you, goes back to searching everybody, asking questions. You a changeling? You a changeling? Okay. Letting everybody through. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
All right.
13.
I sees everything.
4.
4.
11.
You see everything on the ground.
Hey, I was reading a book, okay? I saw all the text, and that's what's important.
They didn't even see the ground.
22.
What? 22?
22.
Okay. Off in the distance, in the shorter line, there looks like a bit of a kerfuffle happening. The elven figure that Cass has chosen as their form in the city seems to be yelling at the counter.
Oh boy.
It's just he'll figure it out.
I'm gonna start walking that direction.
You can't
Submit yourself to inspection.
just wait.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Of course.
I've not been to this city before.
It's okay. And at this point, the kind of commotion is
Is this person with the Sharn watch?
the one keeping you.
Yeah.
The one
Or
keeping you.
is he just like private?
No,
security
they're gonna
for the
like I said, they're the
train
guardians of the
terminal?
gate. They're kind of the customs of
Okay.
Sharn.
Okay. Okay. Do they have like are they in any way connected to the watch or
They're
the Brelish military?
closer to. They only exist in the city, so they're under the employ of the city. Kind of a lateral agency from the city guard, or
Okay.
city guard with a very specific, like, field of focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just wait.
Okay. So you're gonna see eventually, kind of kerfuffle turns, whatever, and Cass is gonna make their way back. Gonna like kind of push the guardian of the gate aside. Sorry about that. Look, there was a misunderstanding, okay, and I can only get you into Tavrick's Landing for now. He's gonna kind of look at the guardian. Do you fucking mind? And the guardian's gonna look at him indignantly, whatever, and kind of go off. Fuck these guys. All right, look. I'm sorry. Some of this is my fault. I saw somebody that I didn't think I would ever see again, and I didn't handle it well. So that's on me. I've got you passed for the district. This is probably my fault. I'm gonna get Torfin to straighten this all out. In the meantime, you're just gonna kind of be limited to this district for at least a little while until I get
Stay
this.
at the train station.
No, you can leave the neighborhood. It's just we can't leave this district. So there's stuff to do here.
Thanks a lot.
I know. If you knew who he was, you would understand why it is a big move that he is still alive.
I feel like in the end, we can just use our own connections to get to wherever we want. The Dark Lanterns have the same authority here as anywhere else.
Sure.
If anything, they have more here because this is like a major city of.
It
And
is
so, like,
the
while
major
it might
city.
not necessarily earn us a lot of respect or anything, like the Watch works for the king, just like the Brelish military, and like we can push our way through if we have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
For now, we don't really have any leads or anything anyways, so we might as well stick it out here for a bit.
I'm gonna take my pass out of his hand.
I is going to say, I actually think we should make a trip to Upper Memphis. I have some business I'd like to take care
Upper
of.
Memphis. You
Upper
want to
Memphis.
get some barbecue.
Graceland.
Some
Memphis
good
barbecue.
Going to Graceland.
barbecue.
Memphis Blues.
Sharn's Graceland is awesome. I cannot wait for you to see it.
Well, we can't go to the Upper District, so
Not yet.
that's like for another time.
Thanks a lot.
I'm sorry. Look, I like I said, I'm not proud of it. I thought it
You're
was something I could move
fired.
past. I cannot.
You need
I-
to learn to
Kai-
harness your emotions.
This Corian doesn't trust changelings.
Who doesn't?
Corian,
Anyone.
the advisor to the king.
Yes,
Nobody does.
it has something to do with that, and that's
Yeah,
all.
doesn't everybody
I should
by
say.
default not trust changelings? Isn't that like a sort of general geopolitical?
Death taxes don't trust changelings. It's-
Yeah.
Particularly amongst like the inner circle of the king in Breland.
I'm sure that applies to most wealthy and powerful businessmen and etc.
yeah,
So yeah,
and in real
I'm
life
not-
too.
Yeah, if they existed in real life, I'm sure it'd be exactly the same.
Distrust.
They already distrust everybody as it is. What now? There are people who can look like us too, or like our best friends and companions. Yeah, that's
Messed up, bro. That's what it is.
well.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry.
To say the least.
You go do what you got to do,
Okay,
and
I
then
have to
get
go.
back in touch with us so that we can have free roam.
And he's gonna
Yeah.
you can see him kind of think about something. He's gonna point to Rel. You know
Watch where you
somebody.
point that.
You know somebody down here, right? I read your.
I know
I read your
many
file.
people.
Do you have like a friend who owns a tavern or something?
I suppose.
Just meet me there, and I'll get this sorted, and we'll get you free reign of the city. The king is going to not want you to dawdle. He seems pretty intent on finding out about this Warforged thing. So, kind of hang out, do what you got to do. Meet me at your friend's bar, and we'll get you off into the city. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. It's like, all right, I'm going to go. And you can see him kind of flash his city pass once again past the Guardian, give him like a shitty look, and then kind of like really kind of speed walk towards the concourse. And as he kind of gets as close as he's going to get to the customs office, he's just going to like point to whoever he had a beef with. And this time you are all going to hear him clear as day scream, "Murderer!" and just like kind of make a beeline out of the station.
And we're gonna make a beeline the other direction like this. Well, not our shit.
Don't know you, man. Don't know you.
Don't know that
We
guy.
just work
I mean,
together, you
he's a
guys.
changeling. He could have chose literally any other face.
We
No,
don't
but
like-
he has a problem with the person. The person doesn't have a problem with him. Or if they do,
Oh.
that means that's
I bet they
separate.
do. He just got called a murderer out loud. So I bet they now have a problem with him,
Yeah.
which is still not our problem.
Well, they have a problem with the form that Cass currently has, the Elvish one, because they don't know how Cass is going to look tomorrow.
I was under the impression that Cass yelled at somebody, right?
Yeah, he yelled
Yeah.
murderer at that guy.
Yeah. So it might not
I'm-
have anything to do with his elven form. He might have just got pissed off because he saw somebody that he doesn't like, or did something bad to him, or murdered
Yeah,
someone
but
of.
they don't know that it's Cass. They just see some Elvish guy calling them a murderer.
Well, they probably figured it out.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think. Maybe.
I mean, it wasn't
If
very
they know,
subtle.
they know, right?
Yeah.
There's only one person who hates me this much. It's that damn Cass.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
Anyways, let's
still
go.
not our problem.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
We've
so
got our passes now.
I is visibly upset that he can't go to Upper Memphis. It's something he was looking forward to.
Just relax, Kai. We'll get
we can
there.
go
eventually.
later. Calm down. Calm down.
Everyone in the party's like, God
Calm
damn it,
down.
relax.
So-
Shit.
You're going to step out of the train station into the Terminus district. This is going to be the base level of towers that extend hundreds of feet into the sky. The city is going to be divided into 3 basic heights of buildings statically anchored to the ground, as well as an unbelievably exclusive and powerful neighborhood that floats unaffixed to everything above the center of the city. Below
Like an
you
airship?
rests the
Like an
significant
air land.
deep undercity, close underground to the molten core, unbelievably hot. So this is going to be the ground level surface of the world as you know it. You're going to step out from the terminus station. The amount of people coming and going, leaving the station, it becomes very clear this is the only lightning rail station in town, as well as the second most used means of arriving in the city, with the most common being by foot, lightning rail second, and airship being the least used, the most exclusive, the hardest to come by. People of all races coming and going, and at the end of the road, you're going to see 2 signs, both of them bearing the signs of dragon-marked houses. Number 2, so your number 1 is going to be the train station. Number 2, you're going to see the signs of House Civis. Rel, you're going to recognize this as a messaging station that people use to send correspondence before they leave the city, most likely such as, I'm leaving the city on the next train, I will be there whenever. On the left, at number 3, you will see the signal of House Denieth, who you'll know offers protection services to people traveling into the city who may not have their own kind of armed escort.
What's it called again?
House Denieth, Deneith. It's another dragon-marked house.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are both of these dragon Mars houses human?
House Civis, the messaging
Civis is
station,
gnomes.
is going to be gnomes. House Denieth is going to be human.
In
Alright.
fact, Kai is going to go speak to House Civis just to chat up. It's been a while since he had a proper conversation with another gnome.
Okay.
Sorry, Dustin. Go ahead.
I guess we don't have any priorities or anything, so go ahead.
The messaging station seems empty, and even as you just walk up, both the doors are open. It's a very lovely day in Sharn. Big doors are open, just exposing the inside of this building to just the outside elements. A little gnome behind the counter. Welcome to Sharn. Is there anybody you would like to notify of your arrival here? It is great to see you. Welcome to the City of Towers. I hope you have a wonderful stay. But if you do have loved ones, let them know that you've arrived so that you may see the best of what Sharn has to offer.
Kai replies saying, of course, I completely trust that you will be able to deliver my messages to loved ones back home. Might we find a room so we can write it all down and have it sent?
Why does it sound like you're gonna torture this guy?
And
Yeah.
just as quickly,
Hmm.
oh yes, of course, discretion is one of our strongest suits here. And with like a dramatic motion of his hands, all of the doors shut, the rooms go silent. You just hear as the windows and doors lock. The room lights up very brilliantly. So nobody can hear us on the outside. This room is completely silent and surrounded and safe for any covert message you might want to send if a group of trusting individuals is who you hope to reach, brother of Zalargo.
Kai smiles and nods as he begins writing on a paper directed towards the trust, which I'll message you about the contents.
Okay.
Don't forget, it
Probably
costs
after this.
money to do business with the guilds.
This is prepaid work.
And okay.
I'll send you a message on
Okay.
what I'll be sending here. Yeah.
So he kind of folds it up and sends it off. I trust your information will be quite insightful for a certain group who shall rename nameless, but let us trust that they will know what to do with this information. If I might ask, are you in town being trusted with the problem of Anduer, or are you trusted with another problem?
I mean, are we in the room? Can I hear
Mhm.
this?
Yeah,
What's underwear?
it's another.
I
it's
only go
another-
commando,
it's an-
so I
it's
don't
an-
know what it is.
It's another nation.
Another
it-
nation?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, like another country.
yeah.
Got it.
In that so there's Thrain and then the Underwear is right beside it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are the
Okay.
nation of. They're the magical country, the one that kind of emphasizes, like the magic.
Wizards,
Yes.
magic.
You see.
Is it the one with like the floating stuff, like lots of floating?
It's a neighborhood, not a nation.
No, it
No,
is.
like
They have
there's a
like
nation
floating-
where there's like all these floating
floating
like
citadels and that
towers.
Kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Now I want to go.
Yeah, they're like this. They're a nation of like wizards.
Yeah, that's the thing that they have chosen to emphasize in their
That's neat.
individual
Yeah.
identity.
Okay.
but
Anyways, I was just curious. Yeah.
Kai will say the proctor has not informed me of Ondler. However, I am here for other business. But I would love to hear more information about Ondler. It could prove useful in the mission.
He's gonna look at Masawa, Rel, Flametongue. Can we trust them?
I would trust them with my life. If not for them, I'd be dead many times over.
A nation of Zalargo thanks you all for the protection of our brother as we serve just as you serve. He's going to kind of look around again and kind of go from this very dignified, kind of shitty kind of spycraft, but my man's trying, to like a very gossipy kind of bitch all of a sudden. You are not going to believe this. So, the trust is out to undermine the queen of Underwear and replace her with his brother, You believe that?
Replace her with the brother.
Yeah.
What purpose would that serve Zalargo though?
We don't know.
Hmm.
Very odd.
Would Denias, or however you pronounce it, would there be operatives in Denias that would have more information on the subject?
I'm sure. I always remain here as a trusted messenger. That if anything arises, that I might be able to trust you with, I would be more than forthcoming in our common interests.
I appreciate it, brother of Zalargo,
Well,
and I trust that we will talk again soon.
very well. Is there anything else that you may trust me with today?
Only that should you find a gnome by the name of Alira, I would like to hear about it and her whereabouts.
Trust that I shall. Check in. We have an amazing way of hearing things and spreading them about. And news travels quickly. I am privy to lots of information that I would only dole out to those I trust.
Kai will nod, and with that, he will have, I guess, served his purpose there. Like I said, I'll email what I wrote into the thing. It mostly has to do with the note that I burned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So all the shutters and all the security measures are going to just suddenly pop back open. Sunlight from what little light passes between the enormous towers of Sharn is going to spill back in. He's going to resume kind of the quirky gnome personality. Oh, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. Any message well sent by House Civis will be well received by House Civis. And I trust that your recipient will use the knowledge for the greater good of this world. I bid you good day. And kind of hops off what was obviously a little box behind the counter, kind of goes back and disappears into a back room.
And as we walk away from it, kind of like out of the group shot, Kai's demeanor will kind of change a little bit and kind of give a sigh, showing that he wasn't necessarily happy to talk to them, but it was more like a chore, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like something he had to do and that he doesn't love it.
We all got bosses, man. I get it.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
As you head back into the street, you come up against one of the gullies that separate kind of big parts of the city. Overhead, you're going to see all of the bridges that connect the towers as they gain height into the sky. Sky coaches are going to kind of fly up and down as a way of changing elevation or flying across chasms for the district. Just going to kind of continue to wander through town.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, say that
Just
again.
kind of looking at what we're looking at.
Okay.
He's asking if we're going to continue to wander, and I think until we have a definitive right now, wandering is good.
Okay.
Well, we can go to. What time of day is it?
It's 7 hours, first thing in the morning, just afternoon.
I mean, we could go and find something to do. This district is, or like this neighborhood is not like the nicest part of town or anything, but it has its own quaint pleasures. If you want to find something nice or fun to do to kill some time, we could just head to an inn and like book a place to stay for the time being.
Where are we supposed to meet Cass at?
Cass suggested we meet him at it's a inn slash like tavern. It's on the coast. It's called the Deep Barrel Inn.
Why don't we go there?
We can head there.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Very well.
Okay. It's
I
going to
will
be
lead the way.
yes. It's going to be a couple neighborhoods down. You're going to make the left after Rel offers to have you stay at an inn and tavern that he knows of. You make your way down through the just hustle and bustle of people. This is clearly, like I said, one of the entry and departure points for all travel in and out of the city. You make your way down, and on your left, which will be number 4 on the map, Flametongue, you are going to see something you have not seen in quite a little while. You are going to see actual soldiers of the nation of Thrain posted up in front of what appears to be a very humble temple of the Silver Flame.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go check that out.
Okay. You make your way up even before, you're probably still 8-9 feet away. Halt, halt, halt. This is sovereign Thranish property. We act under the laws of our homeland and the laws according to the faith of the Silver Flame. Unless you have business, please return to your life and allow us to live in peace.
I'm an acolyte of the Silver Flame. We've just come here, and I've not seen any more Thranish soldiers, so I decided to take a peek.
There have been attacks on the church in this. He's going to kind of look around, lean into you. This nation of heathens. They do not follow the light. And accordingly, they act like animals and destroy temples of worship of a foreign god that they simply can't understand. It's barbaric.
We just came from a place where they destroyed temples and they stole the eternal flame, but I was able to get it back.
And you can see him gasp at the thought of the eternal flame being stolen. Oh, then you should be more than an acolyte at this point, for you are a true bringer of the light, a bearer of the silver flame. Turns around, bangs on the door. You, companions of bearers, come and enjoy our hospitality and our gratitude. They're gonna need to talk to you, sister.
Very well. Let's enjoy the gratitude.
They open the door, and inside you see a nice but a modest temple of the Silver Flame. The Eternal Flame just barely this big, not exactly like in a cauldron, more of like a torch flame, but still symbolic of your faith. And inside you are going to see people in the traditional Thranish blue standing there. Give me an investigations check. I'm sure a strong suit.
27.
They look important.
Wow.
They're
Nailed it.
they're not covered in shit.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, my child. And it seemed kind of odd to phrase it like that, considering how tall Flametongue is. The guards outside style you bearer of the flame. Why is that?
The temples have been ransacked and the eternal flame had been stolen. So I was tasked to get it back and managed to get it back with the help of my companions, and restore the flame to the temple where all the windows had been shattered and everything destroyed. So at least the flame is back.
And you can see the officials kind of like huddle up real quick and be a little indignant, and the word savage comes out. Well, I thank all of you, followers of the flame, for your aid in defending our faith. I'm going to kind of look at everybody. It is beneficial to us at this time that we recognize the Silver Flame's power at drawing people of different walks of life to its brightness and all that it may do. We are here to close this temple, for we fear this godless nation has lost control, and we dare not put our followers or our sacred relics in peril for a savage nation.
I'll look over at Flametongue. They are not speaking kindly.
Yeah, my companions are not savages. They helped in restoring the flame to the temple. In fact, I was almost dead, and they dragged my body and the silver flame back to the temple to restore the flame. So it's not very nice. You call them savages.
Well, I regret my strong words for your companions in particular. However,
It's not very hospitable.
the behavior of this nation towards the one true faith is abhorrent. And I'm going to kind of look around. Do you know what temple this is? Which one we stand in right now?
I do not.
1 second. The princess.
The temple.
The Princess From. This is the temple that she first found the light of the silver flame. From here, she grew with the church despite her warmongering father, and has been so enlightened by our teachings that she now lives with us in Flamehold. I do not take what I'm about to say lightly, but to those of you amongst us that are Brailish, it would be a shame if the hospitality you have shown my faith in a foreign land were to be mimicked against a certain princess who lives in a foreign land. My sister, be mindful of those you keep company with, for in the end, all that we can trust is each other. I thank you for your duty and your service in the name of the light, but we must attend to things that solely pertain to the followers of the light. So if you will excuse
They're
us,
just shutting down the studio.
you're going to have to go to Brooklyn and get me a set of left-handed golf clubs. Take a picture with this balloon. Yes, sister. Go forth in the light. And do not let the weakness of others dim your brightness.
I will ignore the backhanded reference.
They kind of all huddle up, the doors open, and the guards, they seem kind of insistent that you go.
What a bunch of rude boys. They just call us over here and then call my friends dicks.
Yeah, that's all
Hey,
that
you guys
happened.
are- thanks a lot. You guys are assholes. Now beat it.
I know, it's shitty, dude.
Back out onto the streets. For the first time, you see a major road that would head straight east, or you can continue on kind of the outside road heading south.
What do you guys think? I'm feeling.
We were on the way to the inn where we're
Yeah.
supposed to cast later, so whatever direction that probably be in.
Okay, south? All right.
I think so.
Okay. You continue south past the Church of the Silver Flame, soon to be shuttered. And as you see the next kind of major cross street, you're going to see a giant tower decked out in a very lovely sky blue and white kind of aesthetic. And everybody give me an investigations check, please.
Well, I'm dumb as a brick, so here we go.
Bye.
I beat you.
17.
Okay?
14.
Okay.
Investigation 6.
All of the stuff that you found on the bodies of the like the red owl and all of that stuff, did you guys share it all about with each other? I found this, showed it to everybody.
Yeah, I passed my stuff around that I found.
Okay. Kai, on the side of this building, you are going to see writing of times and locations that look exactly like something you found in the pockets of somebody in the Liberty Palace.
Now, if I say a couple of them, would that would I know if I'm like talking about them? Because it says one of these may not be it, because I didn't like list which session we got these in the notes, but I have there's a schedule columns like one column has places like wrote and capitals of other nations. The other column has Lyrander Tower. Is that
Lyrander.
Lyrander Tower? Is that the kind of writing?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to, because I was quickly scrambling to write it, so I know like my notes. If you saw, I had difficulty reading my own notes there. So.
Welcome to my world, bro. And I don't even have my glasses, so doubly tough.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna see it on the glass,
Bold there.
large as anything, magically projected, ever changing. And as you put the pieces together, it is going to be the schedule for airships coming in and out of Sharn.
want to read through the manifest real quick and just see what some of the ships are.
It's gonna read like an airport. Leaving at
Just
this
destinations
leaving
and
at,
times.
yes, for destinations. That's it.
Okay. We should make mental note of this thing. We might need the airship.
So, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming this kind of implies that schedule there was talking about schedules of airships from the capitals, right? So it's like the same writing. So, oh,
Yeah, like if this was an old detective movie, it would be a bus schedule that you have found.
Kai will share that with Rel, especially. And I mean, he'll say it for the group to hear, kind of in a quieter, because he doesn't know who all is listening. But definitely share it with Rel and the others to see what they can make of it.
Okay.
What is it? Or like, do I get anything out of this, or is it just?
Well, I think that it's saying that Lyrander Tower is a point of interest that we should take note of and maybe investigate.
What's the what tower is that?
The
Lyrander?
dragon marked House of the Storm.
Yes.
They're like in charge of all of the airships and stuff in Sharn.
So it would be in like the most expensive part of the city.
The
The
tower
richest
itself,
part
yes.
of the. Yeah.
They also arrange things. They're also in charge of like things by ship. So this neighborhood, it's part of their kind of shipping.
Okay.
Ordeal. So if you wanted to ship something, you came here instead of it getting on a wagon or a train. You would put it on a boat. This is where you would facilitate that.
Okay. So do they? Well, I mean, of course, they probably have more than one dragon marked house in the city.
Big city.
Okay.
Big city. Good to know. We'll have to figure out how to see if Lyrander Tower is where we happen to be.
Is this their like actual huge like the tower, or is this just like a part of their?
This is just one of their offices. I said, if you look straight up, Rel in particular would be able to tell you this was not at the top of this building is not a platform for airships. It's just one of their offices in the biggest city in the country.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. You continue south along the Edge Road into a less busy section of the city. This one pretty much dominated by large warehouses. As you make your way south along the Edge Road, the ones on the north side of this cross street, all of them out front look like your everyday warehouse. Little bars on the windows, a couple of guards in front. Nothing too impressive, and they all bear the markings of House Orion, which is the overland travel company, both in passengers and cargo as well. On the south side, the building has no windows, no doors that you can see. It is covered in a magical aura with two enormous dwarves just standing against the wall, weapons in hand, on an ever vigilant watch who kind of gives you a little bit of the stink eye as you walk by.
Just like a general stink eye, or is it?
Yeah, it
Targeted?
doesn't seem personal. No hint of
A
recognition.
specific stink eye.
Yeah,
How
is that
stinky?
a specifically stinky eye?
Yeah.
Okay.
No bite?
Well, I'll just like raise my nose at him.
Okay. You continue on down south along the Edge Road and into the High Walls neighborhood. And
This is where they have all the best food.
Yeah, I bet.
this is your first residential part that you've seen in this trip to Sharn. It is probably closer to a shanty town. Not all of the buildings have, solid windows or a door. There seems to be a lot of people here, and you will notice all of them have a common shade of blue that you have seen before. Non-Brailish blue.
Fire, Khorvair.
And they kind of like run around. They seem relatively happy, but you can tell this is a very impoverished part of town.
No wonder they want change.
And Seer is the nation that got destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's now the Mournland.
Yes.
they went poof.
Yeah. Country go boom.
It's a bummer, huh?
Well, it kind of went like,
Real bummer, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just.
Oh,
I think the
guys.
morning was just literally like a couple of days, and then that was it. Like, so yeah, you can see the kind of signs of poverty and depression throughout this part. Everybody's kind of dirty. Everything looks to be in a state of disrepair, and as you make your way a little further into the city, you can see a bunch of people seemingly running out of the district. Some of them get to the Edge Road and head north, where you're going to be. Some of them head south, but there appears to be a large amount of people running away from something on the road.
Oh, we should definitely go see what that is. Did we ever hear a noise?
No,
You smoke
I mean,
anything?
Are people running like they're scared, or what kind of
Yeah.
running?
yeah, they're running like they're scared.
I mean, before we go running off to whatever this is, I should let you know that this is a huge city and there are lots of events happening everywhere. We can't be peacekeepers for everything and everyone. We also have our own mission to accomplish. I'm just putting that out there, but let's go and check.
Apathy is easily achieved.
Don't worry, bro. It's going to take a lot to sell me on this, so I'm with you. You make your way down, and the cluster of people running the opposite direction in which you're heading.
Are they screaming and
They're
stuff?
not. They're just.
They're just running.
Just
They're
hollering.
panicked.
They're moving away quickly. It's not like a stampede. It's not, like a panic. It's panic adjacent, but not quite to that level.
Okay.
They're anxious, a little more than anxious. Anyway, so you head down the road and you see like this just huge group of people blocking the entirety of the road on the ground. You can even see people in the sky bridges of the towers above you, like leaning over down to see what is in the street. And every so many feet, you see a member of the Sharn City Guard. Back up! Back up! None of you need to see this. Go home until we come and ask you what happened.
Yeah,
Wanna walk-
do we see anything else?
You see, aside from the guards trying to keep a perimeter and keep the kind of people out, you see a bunch of activity, like moving around. Tons, dozens members of the city guard inside of whatever perimeter these guards are trying to set up.
I'm gonna walk right into the midst of them and grab one of them.
One of the city guard?
Grab a guard.
Yeah. Pardon me, guard.
A whiff of cigar smoke is going to kind of kick up over the heads of the crowd. And, hey, who the fuck do you think you are, manhandling my guys like that?
I apologize for my interruption. I am with the British military. What is going on?
Congratulations. I'm with the city guard. I've got another murder. That's what I got. Are you here to do anything about that? Or are you here off to do whatever His Majesty wants while I solve the real problems of the real fucking people around here?
I'm here to listen to determine if I should care.
Well, if you have to ask yourself that question, I'm guessing that you fucking don't.
If you have to have an attitude like that, I'm guessing you don't want my help.
I don't fucking need it. And she kind of turns around, and it's at this point you realize it's a female dwarf who has shaved, cigar in the mouth, like screaming at everybody. She's gonna kind of come up and get like a little closer to Masawa. She's not really taking your shit. And as she does, she's like, "Who the fuck do you think you are coming into my town like this? Ordering my guys around, the Bralish military." And I haven't heard anybody since a friend of mine left. Bralish military.
I'll lean forward and say, Dark Lantern.
Oh, look who's so important. The Dark Lanterns.
Yes,
So
we
anyway.
are so important.
So anyway, Dark Lantern
Espouse what is going on.
blows a big old puff of cigar smoke in your face.
Don't even breathe. So I just let it roll right off of me.
Has the king sent you here for this?
This king has sent me here for a number of things. This piques my interest.
I'm sure. Well, let me tell you, big man, the king wants to know so bad. This is the 5th body I've got this week in this town. Somebody is killing refugees. Somebody thinks it's funny. These people haven't been through enough.
That is terrible. Is there anything linking the bodies? Method of kill? Or any other signature things like that?
Beat to death. Ugly way to go.
Passion project is what it sounds like.
Or some sick fuck who just likes to beat up people who've had a rough life.
Oh, I hope it's not that.
It's
Rel,
yeah,
what do you assess from this?
I don't know. Hi, Brun.
At the mention of the name, she's gonna perk up and kind of give Masawa no. Well, look who it is. Dragged back into the city. Hey, you're just in
Oh, you
time.
know her.
Yeah. This is different. How long has this been going on for?
As best we know, couple of weeks.
Somebody's targeting refugees now too.
I got a feeling it's been going on a lot longer. It just got really serious recently.
You said that they were beaten to death?
And she's gonna kind of flag you over. Are they with you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I already know who you are, and if you know this son of a bitch, I guess you're fine. And they're gonna like lift up the sheet, and you're gonna see like a young human, about 20, just absolutely pummeled. It doesn't look like magically. It looks like somebody just beat them to a pulp with their bare hands.
Okay.
Masawa's gonna reach over and kind of like touch their head where they've been hit, trying to determine if it was by an implement or by a fist.
Okay. Medicine or investigation?
I'll do medicine
Okay.
because I'm not the brightest bulb, but I'm pretty wise. All right. Let's see here. 17 on the medicine.
If it was by fist, whatever it was either really big or really angry. You can't really tell. A normal sized person in a normal state of mind probably couldn't beat somebody this severely.
I'll like go down to the body and look at it.
Okay.
You said it was a young adult male?
Yes.
Female. Or male, yeah,
Male.
yeah. I'm showing Rel the body, and where I poked, you see that is an impact zone.
Yeah, I'll just brush your hand away. Is there any identifying characteristics of this person? Do they look poor?
They look dirty. They're adorned in the Syrian blue. Like
In Syrian blue?
Yeah, like any kind of ethnic neighborhood. It's got, it flies the flag of their homeland. Here they do the particular shade of blue to sear.
So if he's like 20, that means he was like a teenager when the morning happened, right?
Yes.
Because it's only a couple of years ago.
6.
Yeah. Okay. So he was pretty young. All right. I mean, that also implies that he wasn't in the city or in the country when it happened. So, can I see if I would like to? Is he wearing a shirt?
Yeah, it's covered in blood.
Can I pull his shirt open? If it's like not buttoned, can I take a knife and cut the shirt open?
Sure.
Has he been stabbed?
No.
Okay. That's all I was curious about.
Okay. Seeing you look for something particular, Brune's gonna are you looking for what I think you're looking for?
I always am. I was just curious. I guess it's not related.
I don't look, Rel. I know that was a little while ago, and I know it hurts, and I know she's not kind to you when you encounter her. You got to let that go, man. It's not your fault, and she needs to understand that. And if she can't, then you can't just let it. You can't let it be.
It's really none of your business.
That's not why you're here, is it? Rel?
I mean, yes and no. It's always why I'm here.
All right, man. But yeah. So, are you gonna help me with this? At least maybe check in with me. You know I could use you.
We have some things that we have to take care of, but I can meet you at the office.
Okay. Tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay. Cool. I'll meet you. Later.
I'll like pat her on her thick shoulderies. Sort of like companion or comrades do. Pat. And then I'd say and when we meet up, I'd like to see everything about this too. I might look into this if I get an opportunity. It might be related to what we're looking into. We'll talk more about it later.
Okay. Yeah, let me get back to this. I'm So look at Masawa. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were with him.
He's crass, but don't let it get to you.
Still, it's not becoming of a city guard, especially a captain. But be safe out there. You've got a hell of an investigator here with you, and I hope you appreciate that.
Indeed.
All right, let's go.
All right, you're gonna head out.
We have been insulted from the very beginning.
Huh?
I said we have been insulted in this town from the very second we have arrived.
Well, you're not from here. You walk in and act like you own the place. That's usually how people respond to that attitude.
Oh.
If it's a common theme, it might be us and not them. Just saying.
You are reflecting too hard.
No, just observant. Let's go.
Okay. You make your way south along the edge road. The crowd seem to no longer have any interest.
It's police business.
In the kind of comings and goings, and as you make your way down one particular like kind of side street, you hear like threats. The boss told us to get what we had coming to us. He don't care if you're poor. Give us our money. And then somebody just scream, "Help! Help! Help!"
Oh man, we're not gonna get anywhere in this city.
We will if we ignore it.
True. Can I look over? What do I see?
You see 4 guys in jackets with what look like 2 suns on like the back, like an insignia. All 4.
Two sons?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that familiar to me?
Give me history. Yeah, give me history.
Okay. 14.
You would remember hearing something about like an upstart kind of organized crime gang called the Twin Sons. When you left, they weren't very impressive or, really anything. They were just kind of young upstarts.
Okay.
And they seemed...
how far away are they? They're roughing somebody up in an alley, I assume?
Yeah, a couple 100 feet.
I'm just gonna very loudly be like, "Relish military, what's going on over there?"
I'll look at you. You ain't no Brailish military. Brailish military don't come down here.
I pulled my badge out and my gun.
Well, give me an intimidation check for the brandishing the firearm.
Sure. Natural 20.
Okay.
Guy just shits himself.
Holy
Natural
shit.
20.
Let's get the fuck out of here. And
That might be my first natural 20, actually.
They're gonna throw the human that they were roughing up like down to the ground. Boss is still gonna get his money, and they kind of like try to mean mug you for a second, but then turn around and really start to run like quickly down the alley.
It's nice when a people respond appropriately. Anyways, I will help the person up. Is it a man? Is it a woman?
It's an older man.
Older
Human.
man. Okay.
Thank you. They claim I owe them money, and I don't have it.
Well, did you borrow money from them?
I needed to feed my wife. She's ill. I needed the money.
How much money?
10 gold.
I will pull out 20 gold and give it to him.
Oh, Oh, thank you.
And I'll just say, don't make that mistake again. But I can't protect you forever, so I wouldn't get into another debt if I were you.
Oh, no, of course not. Thank you so much. And kind of
Off you go,
like hobble a
old
little
geezer.
bit, hobble a
Off
little
your
bit,
pop.
and run off the opposite way.
Yeah.
And you can see just kind of lighthearted and happy, clutching the 20 gold to his chest.
He's not gonna feed his wife.
It doesn't matter.
You gave him 20
It
gold.
doesn't
He's gonna go buy
matter.
drugs. Hey, excuse me, where can I buy drugs for 20 gold?
So, Kai
Well, I
will-
mean, there are only two outcomes for what I just did there. The first one is, yeah, he does the obvious. In which case he'll be dead before we know it anyways. And the other one is he'll pay off his debt and hopefully not get himself beaten to death at the very least. Anyways, let's go.
Kai, what do you want to do?
yeah, Kai just wanted to ask Rel, say, it seemed like you may have recognized him in some way.
Oh, that sort of emblem they had is it's for a local criminal gang. To my knowledge, they were just kind of like up and comers. Maybe they have a little bit more power, but I mean, they're just roughing up an old man, so maybe they don't. Hard to say.
What name did they go by?
Oh, did I get that? Or are they just called the two sons?
The twin sons.
The twin sons. Yeah. They won't be the first or last criminal group we see. I'm sure that even if they gained some amount of notoriety or power, they aren't the big shots. You don't see the big shots.
Of course, but connections always climb like a ladder. So I'll keep them in the back of my mind. Who
Yeah,
knows
I
if we'll see
mean,
them again.
if like most criminal organizations, they pick on the weak and the helpless and the poor, or the people that they have, some leverage on. So we're not likely to have any issues with them outside of like confronting them directly. But
Let's go confront him.
well, let's look.
Let's stop this.
Welcome.
Right now.
I've got it, you guys. You've not been to a city like this before. We can't stop and help every person on the way. We
I
like.
advocated to not help anyone.
Well, you came over here to investigate the screaming.
You did.
Really? I don't remember walking up to the body and starting criticizing the police and everything.
That was
Listen.
earlier.
Oh, okay. Well,
I advocated to not stop and help this guy.
I'm pretty sure we walked out of the first building and I said, let's not get too focused on
I
this.
have a
but-
-1 intelligence, so
okay. It's
I'm sorry if I get that way.
no, it's totally okay. Listen, well, the point I'm trying to make more is that we can help, every little person that we come by, or we can try and make change. But no matter what we do, we got to remember that, we're here for specific goals. And we have to keep that in mind for our own safety, not just the safety of everyone around us. I feel like, we're good people for the most part, and that we want to try and do some good or make some change, but I don't think that we're gonna make much if, like, with the old man that just ran by. I only gave him money because I have a lot of money that's not really mine.
Yes, I think it also wise that we aim to have conflict with these people only if it serves finding a higher level of corruption. If we can keep getting closer and closer to the source, otherwise it won't serve our purposes. If we kill those gang members, they'll just be replaced by others.
Yeah, I've in my years working here, I always had a connection with both the law and the unlawful. And I found that there is a balance. You can't, if you try to destroy the criminal underworkings of this city, someone else shittier will just take over. And it's better to find an equilibrium of like sanity in all the mess than it is to try and kill everyone to solve problems.
True.
I do not
But what
know
if-
if you're preaching neutralism or nihilism.
That's a good question.
I just wonder if there's a way we can use these corrupt individuals to our advantage somehow.
Oh, I think we can. At the very least, they'll
Absolutely.
provide a lot of information. Speaking of,
Yeah.
we should make our way to Deep Barrel Inn.
Okay. As
Agreed.
you continue off out of the Syrian refugee district, it is almost as if you cross this unseen line from this impoverished slum of a neighborhood filled with poor and injured and the misfortunate to the absolute polar opposite as this next neighborhood full of bright neon lights and hustle and bustle not depressed of people seeking fun, occasionally a flame fire breather like in the street sending out fires, people going ooh and clapping, sky coaches coming up and down from all sections of the city into the Dragon Eyes neighborhood. It is more alive than anything you have ever seen. There are people of all races and sizes in some of the most scantily clad clothes you have ever seen, if some of them are wearing them at all. You are instantly bombarded with people trying to solicit you for all sorts of things. Do you want to buy these drugs? Would you like to have a date? Various things that you would expect from a seedy entertainment district have just turned on like a light switch.
It's also like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yes.
It's perfect time for debauchery.
Yeah.
You could be home by nightfall.
I hope you guys aren't bothered by titties.
I don't even have flesh. I don't care.
And so, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is sort of like where I'm just like telling the group, this is sort of where mildly wealthy and medium gangsters come to spend their wealth and have a good time. You know, not the bottom of the barrel, but not the wealthy either.
As the sky coaches come up and down, the city streets just become absolutely like packed with people of all races, both visiting and who are either employed or live here. Rel, you're going to make your way. This is not your first foray into this neighborhood. Eventually, you're going to come across your recognized point of destination. Don't you have somebody outside of it?
No. No.
You
I mean,
you didn't have a bouncer?
I don't have it written down here. I don't think so. I mean, I probably would know them, but I'd have to look at the messages I sent you previously.
I got it. Oh, that's a different one. This is the Deep Barrel, yeah?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is Deep Barrel.
Um,
I don't have a specific connection with the bouncer here.
okay. I just read it. So you're going to make your way in. Familiar door. You come across it. Looks familiar. Everything looks the same as the last time you saw it all those years ago. what do you want to do as you and the party stands outside?
This is close to the coast. It's a pretty nice place, but you know, it's sort of in a mixed area. But I mean, this is a good place to lay low, but also to gather information, and we can find like rooms here that'll be reasonably quiet. The rooms here are enchanted to be soundproof, so the people can party in the streets and stuff, but you can actually get a good night's sleep. It's a little bit pricier, but you know, it's convenient.
I'll hand out some religious pamphlets
Oh,
to
Jesus.
people in the inn.
You guys are just, oh my God. I'm gonna head inside and see if I can find alert tea.
Okay. As you make your way inside, it is a rough and tumble kind of dive bar. I think is being maybe overly generous with it. There look like people who've just recently been in fights, like blood trickling down from the nose. There's a couple bits of smashed furniture off in one of the corners. And as you walk in, the table right in front of the door is going to be 4 large humans emblazoned with jackets with 2 suns on the back. Bartender.
They're the cool kids in town now.
The bartender is going to look at you. Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in.
There was no cat.
Where's Cat?
I see you're traveling with amazing companions as always, Rel. Welcome. I imagine I know why you're here. Come on in and tell me what I can do to help.
Well, actually, we do want to do actual business this time. We do need a place to stay for the moment. At least my companions do. So if we could get a couple of rooms at the usual rate.
Come on in. Let's talk shop. And on that note, we will leave it for the evening. The party firmly entrenched in Sharn. Little worms thrown out by the DM to see if they bite at anything. And hopefully a vivid picture painted.
Just little nibbles.
Of the city. All right, so we are all here. Our episode's over. I say this every week because I mean it every week. Behind these great characters, there are even better people. On our way out, I always like to give them a little chance to talk about themselves and their own awesomeness away from this show. Tonight is no different. So let us start with Tenta. So you're in this big city now, Masawa. You're here. A lot of stuff going on. What do you think of the big city so far? And then tell us about something awesome about our friend Tenta.
Masawa's, he's impressed by the sheer amount of diversity and the amount of people here just in general. He's never seen anything like that. As well, he's never actually seen an airship up close before. So he's just kind of taking it all in, trying to offer what he can offer, help where he can help, and just basically digest it all until not everything is shocking and new, you know.
I mean,
He has no flesh, so he can't like, oh, whoa, you know. He just looks like a stone skeleton. But he's quite impressed by Sharn. He's taken by it.
Awesome. And tell us about our friend Tenta.
I'm Tenta. You can get a hold of me on on the Twitter at RipTentaSqueeze if you want to talk about video games, tabletop RPGs, MMA, wrestling, any of those fun things, metal music, specifically like 1997 to 2002 new metal stuff. It's my jam. So hit me up if you want to, talk about like Pressure 4-5 and 36 Crazy Fists.
Bands I've never heard of because I'm old. All right, awesome. Thanks, buddy. Let us slide over to another first timer in town. Nick Flametongue, big city, lawful good devotion paladin going into what is essentially the poor red light district. So depending on how you think that might be better or worse than the rich red light district. How's Flametongue going to kind of deal with all of this going on? And then tell us about our good friend Nick.
Well, the temple is being shutting down the studio, y'all, and no more Silver Flame here. So she has to be a really good example for the church. I'm just going to pass out some religious pamphlets and just talk to these sinners. I wouldn't call them savages, but sinners, that need to be brought into the light. And that's going to be a fun time, I think. I feel like a lot of them will be very receptive.
I'm sure.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
People in the red light
receptive.
district really are often just wandering around there going, man, I wish somebody would just roll in here and save my soul. This place is awful.
It's just they need redemption, and I'm just offering a pathway, not being shovey.
Just offering pamphlets. All right.
I might lay on hands without asking.
Consent's probably pretty big in the red light district, I'm just saying. All right, tell us about our friend Nick.
My name is Nick. I live in Northern California. I'm a dog dad, chef. Finally getting to take a vacation this next weekend. Gonna go up to the Redwoods, so that'll be pretty awesome.
Nice.
And I love gaming. Thanks for having me in this group. This game's super fun, and looking forward to sharning myself.
Nice. Love the finish with the pun. All right, let us move down to Rel. You are back home. There's a lot of things kind of going on. You've met up with some contacts. Happy to be home or not so? And then tell us about our boy Dustin.
I mean, I don't know if happy is the right word, but I have goals here that I want to achieve. I understand how this city operates. I understand that, humans are as unpredictable as they are predictable. And yeah, we can't solve everybody's problems. But maybe we can try and solve the big ones. I wouldn't say nihilistic, since that would mean somebody. I wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, you're trying to say
maybe a little more absurdist.
Minimalist. I want to care about the least amount of people possible.
It's not. No. I mean, I obviously Rel cares. Otherwise, he wouldn't stop and help all the time. He's just also not easily fooled, and doesn't try and trick himself into thinking he has all the answers or something like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go. It's unfortunate that it looks like there may be some racism going on here, some targeted hate crimes perhaps, among all the other problems that we have to investigate. And the problems I have, it seems like there's a lot going on. So it'll be interesting to see if any of it ties together, and maybe we can kill two birds with one stone.
Okay. And then tell us about our boy Dustin.
I'm the Dustin. I do the video games and the Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy and stuff. Also like science fiction too, to be fair. And yeah, I'm currently just working a lot, but it is my partner's birthday this weekend, so I'm going on a little trip to Seattle.
Oh, nice. International
Just
travel.
a little holiday trip, just to get out of town, do something different. And but I'll be back on Tuesday morning, afternoon. So I should be back in time for the Dungeons and the Dragons.
Awesome.
Unless there's like something crazy, but I'd probably just message you guys
Yeah,
and let you know.
No shooting at your resort this time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anytime you step into America, you're.
Yeah, I mean it could happen. So just
I'll be
careful.
ready to dodge bullets.
Yeah, just be careful. This isn't
yeah.
civilized Canada. America.
I mean,
baby.
it is Seattle. It's not as bad, but yeah, I have experienced dodging bullets, but it would be unfortunate if the bullets were actually aimed at me time.
Let's not see how you do on a dex check. Let's not do this twice. So just be careful.
Yeah.
You guys have fun for a whole week. Good for you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, just gonna like eat food and drink drinks and maybe do a little dance or something. I don't know. Whatever makes the birthday boy happy.
That's fine. Happy birthday, homie. All right. Last and not least, our most trusted member of the party, in the worst spycraft roleplay encounter ever. My man was not subtle. So you have, how does Kai feel about kind of reporting to the trust in front of the party? Is that like a big thing, or is he just going to kind of treat it like very casually?
I think he's going to treat it casually because Zalargo is allied with Freeland. They've been allied with Freeland for the past 40 years. So I don't know the ages of every single person in the party, but for some of them, that's their entire life. Or it may have been 50 or 60 years even. Like Zalargo.
It is considered their closest ally.
Yeah. So granted, they've seen him use his dragon mark before, so it would be assumed that he has some sort of connection to House Civis. So I don't think that, and like the trust is like a very public secret of Zalargo. Like it's a secret, but everyone knows the trust exists, and everyone knows that there's a ton of. So I don't think he's gonna take it. Like if they had shock about it, he would treat it like, oh, they just don't know Zalargo very well, because it's now like he would understand them being a little surprised about him being in part of the trust, but he doesn't think that it would be any cause for concern even with knowing.
Okay.
But he did specifically write down on the paper rather than say it out loud. So make of that as he will.
Okay, fair enough. And then tell us about our boy Landon.
Landon Baker, married, and I have 2 big old puppies. Unfortunately, while Dustin will be on vacation with his partner, my wife is out of town for the week. So she won't be getting back until Sunday. So
so house party.
I know, and I'm not too far from you. It's a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get into trouble.
Yeah.
Let's go do a dog pile and hang out and play Dungeons and Dragons in person. If anybody wants to meet up, just a couple of hours away.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna look up Tulsa to South Carolina.
I'll pick you up.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I play a lot of video games. I know I say this quite often, but fantasy games especially. I had about 2 weeks ago went through my what I'm gonna say is my final playthrough of Elden Ring for quite a while. Kind of wore it out. I've beaten it pretty good several times now. So
beat the brakes off of it.
Enjoyed that. Yeah. At this point, I'm just waiting for Final Fantasy 16. They said the trailer's finished, and they haven't released the trailer yet. I just want to see the trailer.
All right. I predict people with bunny ears and an incoherent narrative.
So, knowing the Yaoki Yoshida, right? He's the one that's over. Knowing his track record, I would say it's probably going to end up pretty good, just because has a good history of work.
Final,
But anyways,
Final Fantasy IX was the last one that I really cared about, and that was the last great
Yeah.
one, and I will die on that hill. All right, so that has been our amazing cast for another episode of our long-term flagship campaign, Eberron Tranquility's Betrayal. Join us next week, right back here, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Tuesday night, for episode 3, as the party heads out into Sharn a little bit more and sees what the world has to offer. You can also check us out tomorrow night, Wednesday night, also 7 p.m. Eastern Time, here at twitch.tv/GrowedUpGeek for our high-level limited campaign, Dynasty of Dragons. That thing is really starting to get going. We added 2 new cast members last week. They are really great, and I can't wait to see that story continue to move. So join us for that tomorrow. If we don't see you tomorrow night, hopefully we'll see you back here next Tuesday for episode 3. Thank you for watching. As always, remember, I love Dungeons & Dragons and the people who play it. Hard mode playing, thank you for the follow. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and good night.